Hey team, back at it again with the trade breakdowns. Today I'm going to be breaking down my $2,174 trade on ticker ROKU. 2793 is my account number. This was posted in my Discord server at 7:01. I'm showing you this to verify the profits. These are real trades made on a real account. I'll also be breaking down my $895 trade on ticker SLS. But before we get into the breakdowns, I want to talk to you guys about something. Yesterday was my first red day in a few weeks. I know I make these videos of my gains consistently, and I think it's a little bit unfair for me to not make videos on my losses as well. There is just as much, if not more, to be learned from your losses as there is to be learned from your wins. So with me posting just my win videos, I don't want you guys to get the idea that all I do is make winning trades. It's not feasible to think that all I do are take these winning $1,000 trades every single day. I do have green days consistently. I do have green weeks consistently. I have had green months consistently. But I do take losses. Intraday, I do take losses. Just today on Facebook, I'll show you guys this trade. We were looking for this bull pennant break, or this symmetrical triangle breakout right here, and I took a trade right at this point. And so it came down, right? Couldn't break 276, and I took a minor loss on that. It did pop eventually, and we took another entry. I took another entry right here for this pop move up and made that loss back, plus some. But on Facebook today, overall, it's not even worth me talking about because I'm right at break even. These were just little scalp plays. So don't think that I just take winners. I make mistakes on my entries too. Yesterday's loss was on CGC, and that was for a $600 loss. It's all about keeping your losers smaller than your winners. And on average, I do that. So my trade on CGC yesterday, it was an entry right here looking for the 29 breakout, and we just never got it. It came right down. Probably had no business being in that trade, but let me know in the comments section if you want me to do breakdown videos on my losses. If so, if I get enough comments about that, I probably will start doing that. All right, so let's get into the trade. The first one was on ROKU, R-O-K-U. That's not T-O-K-U, R-O-K-U. All right, yesterday, so you guys know we had this big sell-off yesterday in the market, aggressive sell-off. A lot of tickers sold off with the overall market. I'm actually going to move to the daily chart time frame and show you guys what I saw here on ticker ROKU. So it had highs of $328, which is that's what it pushed to yesterday prior to the sell-off. That's showing that it's got a lot of strength right here. It had just recently broken over this $300 whole number and moved from 307 up to 328. We're talking $20 move right there in one go. That's showing relative strength, right? Despite the market even coming down. And then it came down with the market afterwards. So it came all the way down to this $300 price point. One thing about whole numbers is that they like to act as natural areas of support and resistance in the market. Okay, so understanding that, we knew that today 300 was the big level for ROKU to hold. Had it not held 300, we probably would have looked to short it, but it did hold 300, so we looked to take it long. I'm going to move to the 5-minute chart time frame. We placed our long trigger at 310, and these triggers are always by design. They're not just random numbers that are chosen. 310 was the area of consolidation prior to this breakdown, and then it was the area of resistance prior to this breakdown yesterday. On top of that, 310 is just the next whole number above 300. 305 is not that significant, plus there's not a lot of price action around the 305 mark, so 310 was the level to look out for. However, we did not need to wait for this to push all the way to 310 to validate a trade. The first 5 minutes, we know that according to our watch list rules, we don't trade that. We don't trade in the first 5 minutes. But if the short trigger, which was 300, validates as a support, we can then look to take the stock long. And so that's the method that I utilized today. You see the first 5-minute candle was, pretty stagnant, still holding over 300. The second 5-minute candle pushed way up here. Rejected the short trigger, or rejected the long trigger, and then broke over here. So there's a few different entries here that you could have taken. The entry that I took, the first entry, I took this play a couple of times. The first entry that I took was on the 1-minute chart time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We're not trading in the first 5 minutes. 6, 7. Here's your breakout of this consolidation right here, this little pennant pattern almost, if you will. Right, so I'll draw that out for you so you can see it. On higher volume, you can't see the volume bar, it's back there, but there you go, maybe you can see it. This volume's lower, then you get this breakout on higher volume. You don't necessarily need to wait for it to get to the long trigger to take this trade, right? So I bought it on the way up here and sold my first position right at 310, because we know that 310's a likely level of resistance. That was proven to us yesterday. It is the next whole number above 300. Take the trade, take the profits, right? And so I got out there. The next entry that I took, again, was using the 1-minute chart time frame for a break of this pennant pattern. Again, you see this decreasing volume right here on average, and then you get this breakout on higher volume there. And so the entry was taken here for this move up. You could have taken another entry once this pulled back, again on lower volume, higher volume on the breakout right there for that move, and it just kept pushing up into high of day. So using this trend line method really would have been beneficial to you today, to take these little moves, 1 entry, 2 entries, 3 entries, 4, 5 right here. And that was probably, I think that was about it. Maybe 6 if you looked back where it was started to build some support area. Maybe 312 would have been a good level, or you could have used VWAP at this point for an entry. I don't necessarily like trading midday, but this morning session was ripe for the taking. So that's how I traded Roku today on my 2 entries here and here. If you're using the 5-minute chart time frame, you don't necessarily see that breakout right there. Do you see that? I left the trend lines here. You just see one big green candle. That's fine. If you're trading on the 5-minute chart time frame, I recommend that for newer traders. If you are experienced in reading price action, I recommend that you watch the 5-minute and the 1-minute chart time frame at the same time, because you can get better entries using that time frame rather than waiting for this big candle to form and missing out on that move. I mean, that right there was a trade in itself. All right. Okay. The second trade I took was on SLS. This was actually not an options trade, just a shares trade. I took a couple of positions on this one as well. So SLS had this big run right here midday. So let's actually look at GLSI. This is a life science, Greenwich Life Science Incorporated Inc. So this stock ran, from $5 up to $158. We're talking 2,600% in a single day. The news was, you see all these breaks in the candles. It was being halted on the way up and then halted on the way down. The news was some positive research with breast cancer, right? So it doesn't really matter what the news is. These kind of stocks are pump and dumps anyways. I don't normally trade them, but this is a massive move. So today SLS came up on my radar, and it is also a Life Science Incorporated. So this one popped pre-market as a likely sympathy play to GLSI. So when you have one stock running big time like that, the same sector will usually kind of follow suit. Not usually, but it can follow suit. And so this is what I saw. This breaking this pre-market high right here at $13 on forming a nice bull flag pattern where it pushed up, met some resistance, right, and then got this pop move there. So I entered at the break here. I wound up not even selling at 17. I think I sold like halfway through at 15, right at 15 maybe, 15.5. That was my first entry on this play. The other stock ran 2,600%, right? So I was in and out. I just wanted a slice of it. I didn't want to get caught in this thing getting halted either on the way up or the way down. So it didn't get halted, pushed up to 17, met resistance, and then pulled back. And so let me move to the 1 minute to show you this. On this pullback right here, it had been consolidating at the 14.5 level. Treating that price point as, well, let me delete this, make it a little cleaner for you. Treating this price point as a support. So as it was treating it as a support, I was waiting for the entry. I was waiting for the break of this downward trend line. We didn't get it, but it pulled back, tested 14 as a support, and then bounced back up and started trading within this range again. So I bought on these candles, risking off of 14, got this pop move back up to about 16. I don't even think I sold at 16. I probably sold earlier than that. I think 15.5 is where I sold. I alerted this one in chat also. And those totals added up to $895. I think I was in at one point with like 1,000 shares. So those were my 2 trade breakdowns. Again, guys, if you want me to start doing breakdowns on my losing trades too, I will do that. I try to be as transparent as I can, but I think it's just much more interesting to learn from the winning trades than the losers. But if that is something you guys are interested in, comment below. Let me know if you'd like me to start making videos on the losing trades. I will do that. I'd also like you to push the like button for me if the video has helped you out. If you've learned something or if it's just been interesting, push the like button. It helps me out. And also, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this all the time. I guarantee you that if you watch my videos and take notes, you will learn something. You'll start hearing the things that I repeat over and over again, and those will be the things that you should really write down and maybe, begin to study. Thank you for your time. I will see you all in chat. All right, bye guys.